this is gonna be a really different upload and a really difficult one. And I was contemplating whether I should do it or not, but you'll probably notice that something is off, and you'll notice that she's missing. So I thought about it. I talked I talked to my girl about it, and I just figured, since I'm doing this channel and all in, I might as well be honest about it. So I titled this channel Sneakers Creepers for a reason, and that is because when I made the decision to start this channel, I had to make another decision. And that is, this room where I record, it has two exits. The one behind me, the room with the windows that you always see in the background, and there's another door where you can't see behind the camera. And I just knew, we owned three cats, me and my girl, and they're like our babies. It may seem weird when you tell that to people, to some people, but most pet owners understand and can relate to that. So I had to make the decision because, I knew my cats were gonna run around. Either I lock myself in this room and record, but then I knew that, the door over there is made of glass and you can see through. So I knew that Traci, my oldest cat, is gonna be outside yelling for me to open the door because she always wants to be with me. If I close a door or something, she panics because she always so used to being with me. So I couldn't really do that. It didn't feel right. So I made, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm waking up. So I made the decision to make them a part of the channel. Vad är det? Oj, förstör dig. Tracy blev jättearg. Tracy! Tracy! Jag sover du? Ja, jag ska sluta nu, okej. Ja, förlåt. Fun fact, Tracy, hon är 16 år gammal. Hon har ju varit med mig genom allt. Men då har hon datastolen. Ända sedan jag började göra den här YouTube-grejen så har Tracy varje gång lagt sig i hennes datastol och gör mig sällskap. Make our cats a part of the channel. So that's why the channel is called Sneakers Creepers, because you always see one of our cats creeping in the background. She's been a lot in this chair. This is my wifey's chair, and I placed my hoodie there because she likes my scent, and she's been here watching over me when I edit, when I record. And also the logo is supposed to resemble a cat. Not many people know that, but yeah, so it's kind of like sneakers and cats, Sneakers Creepers. And you probably see where I'm going with this. Tracy, she's 17 years old, and she's been fighting a long battle with cancer. She had tumors in her ear, not a tumor, tumors. And we've removed it 3 times, and it's back, and there's really no other options. Thursday, today that I'm recording this, and tomorrow it's, it's time. I can't do anything else, and I don't want her to suffer. We don't want her to suffer. So one of the hardest decisions I ever made in my life, definitely. And so it's really difficult, and you're probably gonna notice that I'm off. Also, I put myself in a really difficult situation because I poured every time, money, my soul into this channel, and I'm really, really serious about it. I have a dream, and I'm pursuing that dream, and I can't just stop uploading. I knew something like this might happen, so I thought about it before I created the channel, and I promised myself if anything happens that I will continue. So I will do that, but it's going to be really hard. I think the most difficult part about it is she's always on this chair with me when I edit, when I record, and she's not going to be there anymore. That's going to be really hard because, I'm going to keep looking over at that chair and it's going to be empty. And the thought of that is really, really heartbreaking. So I'm going to record her 24 hours. Kind of, I'm trying to be careful with the words because, she's here. I also thought about recording this when she's not here, but I think I'm going to be locked up for quite some time and I'm not going to want to talk about it. I'm just going to focus on other things. Plus, I think it's going to be beautiful if I look back at this and she's in the background with me in her favorite spot. But yeah, so a little backstory with, on me and this little lady. So she's 17 years old. I got her during the darkest moments of my life. So let me explain. I was born in Bosnia and we fled the war, my family and me, and we came to Sweden as refugees. And they basically, the government located us everywhere, different cities for short periods of time. And then we finally settled in this town where I live right now in Sweden. That was the first time where we lived for a longer period and I managed to make friends, and build some kind of roots. Then my sister moved away to a different city and after a couple of years she was pregnant with her first son and my parents wanted to move so they can like be together as a family and help her raise her first son. I just graduated high school, so I didn't want to move. I love my sister. We are really, really close. She knows me in and out. We're like twins. But I didn't want to move because this was the first place, where I gathered friends and built some roots. So I wanted to stay, especially, coming out of high school. What are you going to do? Live with your parents on the couch in a brand new city? I didn't want to do that because I've done that my entire childhood. So I decided to stay. And not long after that, my dad passed away from cancer. And I was stuck alone in the city in a one-bedroom apartment in a really shitty neighborhood. So losing dad and then a lot of other things happened at that same time. Some of the worst things that I experienced in my life. And, losing a dad at that age is really kind of, it puts a scar on your soul that you're going to carry throughout your entire life. And being alone, you know, was really, really hard. And when things were hardest, that's when she came into my life. I got her as a gift, and I remember I couldn't afford a cat, so I was kind of pissed about that. But eventually, this little lady, without being too dark, without getting into details and becoming too dark, this little lady saved my life. She was the only positive little thing in that one bedroom apartment. And then she followed me. I moved to a different city to chase a music career. Can you believe that? I was an aspiring rap artist. Like, that is literally the worst career choice you can pick. That me up for a lot of years to come financially. Kids, don't try to be a music artist or actor or anything like that. Don't do that. But yeah, I moved to a bigger city to chase my dreams, and Traci followed me. And I lived in Malmo for 6 years. I didn't own an apartment, so I had to rent in secondhand. And we went through like I think 9 or 10 apartments during those 6 years. So she was with me every single step, always waiting for me when I used to party. I don't party. I stopped doing that many years ago. But I always lived alone with her, and when I used to party, she was always worried about me, so she waited for me at the door when I came home, worried, cussing me out. It's crazy how animals really, really love you with no conditions. This little this little lady has done so much for me. It's insane. Like I can't. I'm trying to explain to you, but I can't. It would take forever for me to really explain the entire story and how much she means for me and what she's done for me. But I bet a lot of people out there can relate. She's been with me through thick and thin. When I was really, really broke, I remember a lot of times I couldn't afford to feed myself, but I bought her food. Then I met my girlfriend, and I remember the first we met online. First time she came over to my place, I was living in one of those shitty apartments in Malmo, and I just moved there, so I had a mattress, a couch, a TV, nothing. I think I gave her the impression like I was bawling. We chatted because of my music videos and my rap battles and whatnot. And then she came to my home and she's like, "Who the is this loser? Where the am I?" I remember that walk home with my girlfriend, talking about my cat, Tracy. And then we came home and I told her to wait while I was gonna go out and get some food. And our first date, and I bought McDonald's. Can you believe that? Because I had a McDonald's right next to the building where I was living. Yeah. Romeo, a real Romeo over there. The point of the story, like when I was getting McDonald's, she was in that shitty apartment contemplating whether or not she should just leave. But then, Tracy popped up. She was hiding beneath a blanket or something, or in a bag. I can't remember. But she planted herself on a mattress and looked at my girlfriend. And my girlfriend fell in love with her that second. And Tracy kind of like gave her the vibe that I'm a good person. I truly believe that. When I came home, she saw how I treated Tracy and how Tracy was in love with me, and she didn't care about how I was living. She wanted to know more about me because of that. So, in a way, Tracy gave me the woman of my dreams, the best relationship that I could possibly have ever, and that relationship led me to a better person, the man I am today. So it's stuff like that that I'll always treasure and remember. I'm so grateful that after Malmo I moved back here again because of my friends' roots. I could easily get a first contract apartment, so I don't have to move all the time. So I did that. We moved back here, and I found a job where I built a really impressive career on that job, and it led to a very different and better lifestyle. So I'm so grateful for that because, she's been with me when I had nothing. And then later, when I moved back here in 2012, ever since then, she's been living like a queen, bought her everything, really took care of her. And then eventually me and my girlfriend moved together, and she's really spoiled, one of the most spoiled cats you'll probably ever see. I'm so grateful for that because I was always depressed that I couldn't give her the things that I wanted to, and that we had to move all the time. It's really stressful for a cat to do that. The other half of her life has been really beautiful, and I'm so grateful for that because it doesn't matter how much material things you own. If there was an operation and I couldn't afford it, I would easily sell all my sneakers, the equipment, the camera, everything, if I didn't have the money uh, to save her. Like no money in the world can replace the things that she's given me throughout the years, throughout her life. After tomorrow, the thing that's really, really gonna be hard is sleeping. For her entire life, she's been sleeping on my pillow. So I've woken up every single day, and she's right there, on my hand, looking me in my eyes. That's gonna be really, really hard. Sleeping and then her not being there. I'm probably gonna look for her in my sleep. 17 years, bro. Most of my life. Yeah, so thank you for watching, I guess. Thank you for understanding and, take care. Ik heb umgås nu. Jag skulle fortsätta sova. Traci. Jo. Och umgås nu ju. She doesn't like. All right, take care, guys.